What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today is Tuesday. That means it's time for the weekly Nightfall Strike solo, one of my favorite videos to do every week. This week, we're going to be fighting Secrian Mind on the Nexus strike on Venus. So, this one isn't too bad, I'll be honest with you. It's a shorter strike. If you are outfitted correctly, it's pretty easy to get through, right up to the point where you have to fight the boss, and then you have to fight a bunch of Minotaurs and the boss, and that can be a challenge, but I'll show you a really easy way to get through that. So let's talk about the modifiers. Epic and Nightfall, you're going to see those for every Nightfall strike. Void Burn, that is really the reason that the boss and those Minotaurs at the end are going to be an issue, because they all do void damage and they will take you out very, very quickly. So even though we're getting the Void Burn modifier, they are too, and they are very dangerous toward the end. Angry, Minions of Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. The only time you're really going to run into a problem with that is, again, against those Minotaurs. And finally, Juggler. No ammo drops for your equipped weapons. So I'd really recommend bringing some ammo synthesis with you, so you don't have to... So you're not making bad decisions to try and run out and get ammo when you shouldn't be. So with all that being said... Oh! Real quick, let's take a look at our loadout. So I've chosen my Titan with my Ward of Dawn. So you'll see why I went with the Defender class Titan, because it makes that last boss so much easier. Getting rid of all those Minotaurs, and I'll show you that toward the end of the video. I also have the Word of Crota, a void damage hand cannon. I love this hand cannon. I think it's great. It's not quite a top tier like the Fatebringer is, but for this one, doing void damage is really going to help you out. If you don't have this, I would go with Atheon's Epilogue. If you don't have any void damage primary, then I would switch up my heavy slot to a void damage machine gun. Bring a ton of heavy ammo synthesis with you. You're going to find that this is much more effective than using just about any non-void damage primary, because these things are going to be bullet sponges. Even like low-level enemies are going to take a lot of shots. So I would just switch over to, you know, a machine gun that does void damage, bring a lot of heavy ammo synthesis. You'll be able to get through this strike much faster and much easier. But I'm using Word of Crota, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I'm going to use LDR 5001. I love this sniper rifle. The fact that it does void damage makes it perfect for this strike. So this was a no-brainer. And then I'm using Truth. The only reason I'm using Truth is because I'm trying to upgrade it. Really, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I think that there's one area where you have to fight two Minotaurs kind of in this like little green area, and that is really the only time I find a rocket launcher really beneficial. The rest of the time, I would say that Jolder's Hammer is probably going to work for you. And against the final boss, obviously, Truth works pretty well too. So that's my loadout. Why don't we get started? Alright guys, we have landed on Venus. It's time to get this strike started. Let's do it. So I'm actually really excited about this one. I like this strike quite a bit. It's not that difficult until the very end when you're actually fighting the Minotaurs and the Nexus boss. And the only reason it's really difficult is because everything's doing void damage in that room. Those Minotaurs can be a real pain in the neck. But for that reason, I've chosen a Defender class Titan, so I can put up my Ward of Dawn. And that should work out pretty well. This first room shouldn't be too bad. There's not a whole lot that'll do void damage here except for the Servitors. But still, it is a Nightfall, so you got to be somewhat careful. I'm gonna back off here. Ow. Ow. So we want to take out this first group of guys, and then the first Servitor is going to spawn in. He'll either spawn directly to my right or straight in front of me. So he'll either spawn in there. Whoa. Hello. He'll either spawn there or right up there. Right up those stairs in that room. I want him to spawn to the right, but I don't know if there's a trigger that you can, you know, if you're standing in a certain spot or something, that triggers where that first servitor is going to spawn, but it's much, much easier if he spawns in there. I do see some heavy ammo up here. That's very good. Yeah, he spawned up here. That's a bummer. No light switch, so you can be a little more aggressive, I think, than normal. Look at all those shots. Jesus. The problem with this spot is that that railing just kind of gets in the way of your own shots. I'm gonna back off a little bit here, start sniping. Oh. Suck it. You too. When the second servitor spawns in, it's either the second or third one. I think it's the second one, right over there. I think the second one actually spawns in over there. The third one spawns over there. And a captain spawns from over there, too. And the captain's probably the most dangerous thing you're going to encounter. Oh, nice grenade. I should make a montage of all the failed grenades I've had in Nightfalls. It'd be a pretty long montage. So, the reason I mentioned that captain is because if you're up here, you want to be pretty careful of him. I was hoping to get that primary. I didn't get it. I'm just going to back off here. Start sniping again. There's that captain. And even though that captain's doing solar damage, he's still super dangerous. And he's pesky because he warps around. It's hard to actually put enough damage on him to kill him before he moves.
Okay, the upper level's open.
There we go. Alright, we'll just walk around, pick up some ammo, clean up the remaining mobs here. Fallen leaders. Whoa! Don't forget to pick up bounties. Eris has bounty for, I don't know, killing a certain amount of enemies in a Nightfall. And the regular bounty quartermaster has a bunch of them that will work. Like complete a strike without dying, kill 100 enemies. I don't know. There's a bunch of them this week. So don't forget to pick those up. Because you'll probably complete a fair portion of them just by doing the Nightfall this week. Which is always a nice thing. Get a little extra reward. There you go, the cleansing. A ton of heavy ammo out here. I don't really need to clean out this room. I could just move on from here. Dick shot. And I guess that's what I'll start doing here. Instead of going through this next room, I like to just jump up onto this ledge here. Let's see here. You just got to back up. And then you can jump through this window and bypass this room altogether. They will shoot you in the back as you go up the stairs, but you'll be out of their hair so fast that they won't even have time to react, really. So that pretty much is going to do it for the Fallen. We got one more room of kind of weak Fallen, and we're going to start transitioning over to the Vex.
I'm detecting a massive surge from the dig site below us.
I am so happy the Word of Crota is a void damage weapon. Using Atheon's epilogue for Nightfalls, for void damage Nightfalls, I never did like that gun. Alright, and since we're switching over to the Vex, I'm going to pop a Polyphage to try and make a little money here. And we're going to go around this corner. There's going to be, I think, 3 Harpies. They shouldn't be too tough to deal with. And then this room is really our first challenge. There is a couple of regular goblins that have void damage rocket launchers. And they are really dangerous. Oh, that was bad news. And he just teleported away. I've actually had those, excuse me, those rocket launcher goblins come into this room. And that can be a real nightmare. There he is. All right, the next thing we want to be concerned with is those guys. So I'm going to pull out my rocket launcher and hopefully in 1 or 2 shots take both of them out. My truth is not upgraded. All I've got is grenades and horseshoes unlocked on that thing. Because the only time I ever find myself using it is during Nightfall strikes with Void Burn. So unfortunately, it's just not one of my priorities for upgrading. Usually those guys don't come out here, but it is a possibility, so be ready to take them out fairly quickly. Again, they don't do void damage, so they're not going to do too much damage to you too quickly. Solar burn on this strike. The goblins present a real issue, but not so much with void burn. Alright, so we are to the boss fight. And my strategy for the boss fight is to take on the Minotaurs from relative safety of a bubble. I will try and snipe 2 of them before I jump down. And then I'll jump down to that pillar right there and put my Ward of Dawn on and take care of the rest of them. I hate when they warp. Did that get him? Yeah. Alright, so once the Minotaurs are dead, I'm going to my safe spot.
It's opening.
Which is right over here. And we're going to take out the Nexus boss, whatever his name is, Secrion Mind or something like that, from up here. So you want to bring plenty of ammo synth. If you got a icebreaker to regen your ammo, that helps tremendously. And you just got to do this slowly and carefully. I might fast forward through parts of this, depending on how long it takes. Because as you can see, he can hit me when I can hit him. Whenever I can see him, he can see me. So that's really the only issue. I have had this work out really badly where some hobgoblins started spawning underneath me and throwing grenades right up to here. That only happened one time that I've ever used this spot, though. If he gets into this pattern where he is just barraging you, you can just basically wait for him to move like he's doing now. And eventually, you'll be able to start putting shots on him again. I try and retreat as soon as I take one shot. Just to minimize the chances of dying. He's in a good spot right there. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to pop a synth. You can see it just takes a little bit of patience to use this spot. Ooh. I do like this LDR quite a bit. Where is he? There he is. Wait for that health to refill. I am crouching here just because it gives him less of a profile to shoot at. Which makes me a little slower to move back into cover. Damn. Those two wasted shots right there. No need to get aggressive. A little bit of patience goes a long way here. Might just give him a moment to relax. He is really focused on that little hidey hole. There we go. Using rockets here is really dangerous because there's so much stuff around here that your rocket could hit. And I've never seen it happen in person. But I have seen YouTube videos of one of his shots colliding with a rocket and killing the person who shot the rocket. So use rockets at your own risk. Oh, I don't have an icebreaker on this account. Whoops. That was pretty dumb. Alright, I'll have to finish him off with Word of Crota. I'm taking splash damage. He will do splash damage against that back wall, so you don't want to get too close to that back wall. See if I can't huck a grenade over at him. Ooh. Don't want to die now. He is like a sliver away from dying. Almost got him here. There he goes. So not too bad. What was that? 18 minutes worth of work. Completed 4 bounties and the Nightfall. This is one of the easier ones, that's for sure. The only real issue is just coming down and killing those Minotaurs. But if you use your Ward of Dawn from up on that pillar, that makes it a lot easier. If you don't have a Titan, it's going to be a little more of an issue. I'd probably stay up there for longer, try and kill more of the Minotaurs before I came down to my spot. Or you can try the method where you stay up there and just fire down the whole time. I hate that method, though, because what always seems to happen is that he's doing splash damage at the top of that thing, and that Minotaur that comes up behind you is a real pain in the neck, so... Alright, what do we get? I would like to see the Monte Carlo. That is the reward that I have been waiting for. I got shards. Boo! Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this one. It was a pretty quick one this week, so it's really not that difficult. Hopefully, you guys can get it completed, and I'll see you guys online.